What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another week of the Writer's Room. I'm Alan Halas from Breaking and Entering, and I'm joined, as always, by my River West cohort, who is not in River West today, as well as the host of the Mr. Nice Guy podcast and the music director for Breaking and Entering, Mr. Ben Slowey, who is coming to us from Michigan today. Ben, how are you feeling today, buddy?
Thanks for having me, Alan. I'm good. I'm with the folks out in Ann Arbor for the next couple weeks here for the holidays. But yeah, it's been good to have a little change of scenery. I was saying to you before we started recording that I'm doing a lot of the same shit, just in a different room in a different state, which is largely consists of me in bed on my computer listening to music and staring at a screen editing episodes. So not a whole lot has really changed in my rhythm here, but it's good to see my parents, and yeah, it's good to see a different view when I look out the window for once.
Yeah, definitely. Also, is your beard redder, or is it just because you got different lighting in a different spot? Because your beard right now is like super red.
Yeah, it is. I actually just noticed. It's like orange.
Yeah.
That's probably from the lighting. It's coming at me from a different angle than it normally does. So, yeah. But Alan, how are you? How's it going on your end?
Things are going well. It has been a crazy busy time with the end of the year. Looking forward to kind of winding down for just a little bit and really focusing on what we got coming up for next year ahead of us. As Ben and I have said before, we don't really do a lot of year-end stuff, but things are always busy when you run a business and you're at the end of the year and you've got to figure out, all sorts of the little things. And but yeah, no, I'm handling it. I am used to being in this like crazy hectic space now that I just kind of live in. So I don't know how to unwind, but who needs that? We'll be fine.
Dude, neither do I. My idea of unwind is doing things to get me inspired to do other things. If that makes sense. Like,
yes.
kind of like where you watch, people will watch movies to like unwind, or they listen to music to unwind, or do whatever it is. But I watch movies because I'm just interested in consuming other forms of art and consuming new ideas, new expressions and stuff. Same with music.
Yeah.
I go on walks too. Walks are kind of my unwinding. That's sort of my escapism, and I value walks as like kind of if there's anything I do to unwind, that's the closest thing there is to it.
Yeah.
But when you're just like doing the line of work that we do, there's not much of an off switch.
Yes.
Like
1,000%.
There's a gray area with the off switch for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I saw a tweet from John O'Deener, who's a drummer for the Swellers, or was for a band called the Swellers, and now he plays in a couple other bands. And he tweeted, because he's also a music writer, and he said, "It's interesting because your job is saying, 'Oh my God, I have so much work to do,' and great, I'm so glad I got it done so that I can go work again." Because that's basically what you do, is you finish up one thing and it's on to doing the same damn thing again with something completely different. But we love it.
Oh, yeah.
We enjoy it.
Yeah, I still got an episode to edit and upload later tonight, so it comes in pieces.
Yeah. So there's Mr. Nice Guy coming. There's this show, obviously. Thanks to everybody that's checking us out on Twitch as well. Let's get into our first video. This is somebody that Ben kind of put on my radar, and now I am all about it. I'm checking out, this is Felix Ramsey. I am really into Milwaukee's R&B scene right now, and I am excited as to where it's headed. But this video is super dope. So we're going to jump right into it. We'll talk about it in a second. But this is Felix Ramsey with So High on the Writer's Room.
like the smoke you roll away, but even still you linger in the atmosphere. Get so emotional every time you cross my mind. It's like
That was Felix Ramsey with So High. As I was saying just a little bit before that, really into what Milwaukee's R&B scene is doing, and I think Ben actually picked some really great videos for this week because it's a lot of younger artists that are going to be showing their potential for 2021, and that is a strong way to go into a new year, is to come out with a visual like that, like he did, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Felix has got such an amazing atmospheric production on that song, and that's just that alternative R&B thing is. I mean, it's been popular in mainstream pop spheres for quite some time, but I think he just had a really cool wavy, moody feel to it, using a lot of wonderful models and really cool set design with that video. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he'll prosper in the coming year.
Yeah, and shout out to Jacob Brink who helped put that video together too, because that was dope. I mean, it looks amazing too. I found myself in the Milwaukee R&B hole for a little bit, which was not one that I would actually get to go down normally. The other day I was listening to Clayton, who we just discovered this year and had an amazing song with Persian Rug and a couple other songs after that. Listened to him. I listened to a little bit of Felix Ramsey. Cam has been hitting for a long time. Montre, formerly Trey. This isn't something that Milwaukee has had before. Really, it's been an R&B scene that has been really pronounced and actually exciting. I don't know. It's always been. I think R&B in Milwaukee for a long time was a lot of older guys that really wanted to do more like soulful stuff, but they weren't really involving like kind of like the new sounds that are out there now. And I am excited to see what Milwaukee R&B does in 2021, which is like
Yeah.
it's unbelievable for me to even be saying that because I was not really a big R&B fan before that, and now I'm like I kind of want to see what the city does with it. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting. So
Yeah, totally. And I definitely agree. Like, there are a lot of R&B artists that popped up this year on our radar that have been phenomenal to watch, very exciting to watch. Um, a couple more that are really on a buzz right now that I'm excited to see keep growing would be Biscuit Ray.
yeah,
Um, you know, she is fresh off of her backline feature this year and came up with some really creative, but also very like sensual songs. A
yeah,
couple singles in the last couple months, but I hope she gets another full length out in the coming year. Also, True West definitely has been killing it.
yeah,
That new project she dropped from the Ashes We Rise last week,
yeah.
like I don't even think it featured like really any of her actual performances.
It was a lot of
It
her
was-
production, yeah,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah,
more of her
exactly.
curating it, which was cool. Which is something else too
Yeah,
that we
it
don't
was
really have, is something in that sphere of somebody being like, let's put together something super dope like that. So
Yeah, and she made a lot of grand like statements about like social justice and the people always stronger together, and just how every form, every like avenue there is of being black is a beautiful thing and should be celebrated.
yeah,
I just like I was just mesmerized with what she came up with on that project with so many dope other artists too. So yeah, the R&B scene, as you said, is in really good hands right now. That I think is gonna really take more of the spotlight in the year to come for sure.
yeah. And I had to cheat a little bit and bust out the trusty iPad on it. But
There
what
you
kicked
go,
it off
yeah.
was actually the project from Ernie Z that we covered that we put up on the site yesterday, I believe. Yeah, yesterday.
A really
And
good song.
yeah, I liked that. That really set things in motion for me here. But there's just been so much great music that has been coming out of Milwaukee as the year winds down, and it's good because now is normally a dead time because the year end lists have kind of already come out and nobody's really. I mean, people put more stock into that than they probably should, but you're also not making yourself eligible for a best of 2021 list if you drop something right now. But I think that this next couple weeks is really when people are going to say like, "Hey, I want to have a great year. Let's kick it off with a bang, especially after such a shit 2020." So I think there's a lot of great stuff that's happening in Milwaukee, and it's coming out here on our site. So
Yeah, I actually one that went up on the site yesterday, just came out yesterday, was the new Gerald Walker EP, and he's an artist I never really listened to much before. I know because like we had been connected on social media, but I didn't realize like he had moved to, I believe it was New York.
yep,
But yeah, like I kind of I hate to say it, but I overlooked him for a while. But he's dropped a couple things this year, and
yeah,
the project he dropped yesterday was a mix of like hip hop with some neo soul.
yep,
And it was just kind of a project about like you're either in it to win it or you're not in it at all,
Mhm.
and that's a good mindset to have with whatever it is you do. So he's got a really unique like conversational approach to his lyrics, and
Yes.
I like what he's doing a
I
lot.
love that about him. So Gerald Walker has gone back to like he was born in Milwaukee, lived in Chicago for a little bit, and then made the move out to New York, and now is traveling internationally too, but lives in New York. And I've known him for a few years, just kind of off and on, not necessarily like the most like intimate of friendships or anything, but in knowing his music and knowing what he's done, it's been amazing to see him grow as an artist, because he is a real like not even look before you leap, just go. You know what I mean? Like get into it kind of thing. Like moving from Milwaukee to Chicago was in pursuit of making it in a big city, and then that became moving out to New York, and he's had sessions with huge people like Stally and some of the other artists that he's worked with on Blue Collar Gang, things like that. So yeah, he's been somebody that's really just been after it, and always progressing, always doing something crazy. Just another one of many that I'm expecting to have some great things ahead of him.
Totally.
Quickly scanning through the rest of what we had that came out within the last week. I mean, R.J. Riddle. There's new Chakra Blue. That project was good. We got a new video from Lake. I mean, we got some Christmas songs up here. Like
a lot of Christmas songs.
Yeah, there's been a lot of really good stuff coming out. I like. I am not a big Christmas music person. I don't know about you, Ben, but
I'm not either. Yeah, but it's mostly just like the commercial Christmas music that drives me nuts. I do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with artists just having original takes on Christmas stuff, and that is welcomed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that I like when a local artist can take put a spin on something. Like we just had Louis Mann's Christmas in the Hood. Things like that. Like I like that. Give me the local take on it, not your cover of whatever. Troy Tyler just had a Christmas song. Things like that. Like seeing people do something original, even though it's kind of a novelty. It's a good way to see what you can do as an artist and as a writer, and it's awesome.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. Like I also want to give a shout out to Dubsack. They dropped a really good EP yesterday.
Yes.
I know he was saying on social media that it's been a rough year for him, and he was dealing with like a conflict between him and his whatever it is that like releases his music. Like he was in a big debacle, but
okay,
he's back to like dropping what he wants when he wants, and his EP yesterday was full of really just dope and merciless bars. Like that dude can spit.
Yes.
That dude is really good at what he does.
He's young, but he's super well seasoned, and that is the thing. Like, he said that he just got got back into dropping what he wants when he wants. He was putting out so much music beforehand that that only brought him back down to like a normal flow of output. So yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I mean, the EP's hard. I like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, also one more, Alan, gotta talk about that I'm OTW Baby single that dropped last week.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Honda dropped last week, and Ben texts me, and he's like, it's a mumble rap song, and you might not understand anything that they're saying, but it's a banger. And I listened to it, and I was like, you are not fucking kidding. Like, I cannot...
So catchy.
Yeah, I cannot understand most of the lyrics. I probably won't be able to play it on like breaking and entering radio, but that's fine. That is the thing that stood out to me. So I listen to the like Spotify new releases a lot, and every once in a while I find like a rapper that is kind of in that similar vein that like I don't really know what they're saying, but the bass is just hitting super hard and they're flowing over it, and I can't. I'm thinking, I'm blanking on his name. It's like Tokyo Monster or something. Not Toki Monster.
Oh yeah, Toki Monster. Yeah.
Not him, but there's Good Morning Tokyo. He was like a younger. He went viral. Oh God, I can't think. Tokyo's Revenge is the album, and he is another one. But this reminded me of like the local version of that, like. I'm not supposed to love it as a hip hop purist. I'm just supposed to love it as somebody that like enjoys like the energy behind music, and that's what I get out of. I'm OTW baby. I'm on the way, baby.
Yeah, it's just fun.
But yes, thank you for sending me that one, because that one is it's a banger. It is. I mean, it's just pure energy. That's what it is. So
Yeah, absolutely.
with that, we're gonna take things down just a little bit, because we got our second video of this week. It's from Oliver Lowe. It's a little bit more low key. 21 days is the video, and I again, another younger artist that I'm looking to see some big things from. So let's check it out. It's Oliver Lowe with 21 Days on the Writers' Room.
I don't buy what you say you came here for. Isn't it amazing? Life twisted, waiting lines have a little sense of a higher tide. No surprise, flew across the world to find. Isn't it just crazy? Why kiss and tell at night? Could have a little faith about the right time, right guy. I fear when it bears its teeth. Feel you when you look at me. Fearless isn't brave, no. Fearless is just saying your name on the plane ride home. I don't mind a little bit of open sky. Never seen New England, now all these coastal towns. Bigger city boy with his bigger city problems. Call me out, catch me up and talk me down. Isn't it amazing how all this turns out? Writing out an epilogue of where are they now. And I fear when it bears its teeth. I feel you when you look at me. Fearless isn't brave, no. Fearless is just saying your name on a plane ride home. And somewhere in the dark I found 100 ways to keep you out. Flame to burn away and flickering inferno blazing your sun. No one holds a candle to you. No one burns a wick like you do. Set me on fire, baby, set me on fire now. Whatever I said, forgive me. Whatever I did, that's not me. Set me on fire, baby, set me on fire now. And I fear when it bears its teeth. Feel you when you look at me. Fearless isn't brave, no. Fearless is just saying your name on the plane ride home. Your habits break in 21 days. I wonder when we'll break the same. Always looking back, but how much did I make up? Did you care at all? I played the possibilities of our eager infinities. Tell me that you want my fireworks and counting stars. Were you there at all? I'm not afraid of letting you go. I'm terrified that maybe you won't. Memorize our last call. Why did I mistake your heart for a flame at all? I don't buy what you say you came here for.
right, that was Oliver Lowe with 21 Days on the Writers' Room. And I gotta say, first off, seeing that video, props to whoever helped make it, because it does look very well produced and very well put together, just like the song sounds very well put together. Somebody had to take a giant piano out into the woods, and that takes some effort. That looked like you had to have some pretty strong friends to help carry a piano, and then they lit it on fire. So, I mean, that's the level of commitment is something that I have to applaud on that alone.
Yeah, Oliver, if you're watching this, please assure us that you caused no forest fires with that production.
I didn't even think of that, yeah.
Like you said, it's very well produced and kind of captures like his just like raw emotion that he conveys with his lyrics, and another artist that he popped up over the summer. I think I don't know if I saw somebody share his first song or what, but I just saw one day this new guy Oliver Lowe dropping a new song, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I love finding new artists.
Right.
That's what we're here for. So it's been cool to see. I think he's got 3 songs now, but it is cool to see he's got a very well produced and very mature sound.
Yes.
Even just early on. So.
Yeah, and I think any time that an artist can do that from the jump, as long as they keep finding that momentum, is definitely something that is huge for for the coming years. And I think he's one that can do that for sure. I asked Ben while we were watching that video if he was on N43 Records, because it had the very like proper polished style that we see from a lot of their artists, and that has that's with a team of people putting things together. I have no idea what Oliver Lowe's team looks like, if it's just him or what, but it looks very good. So shout out to him for putting a lot of great stuff together as well. This would normally be the part of the show where Ben and I would dig into our record collections and find something, but Ben is doing the show from a different state, and I think, did you ever do the show in Chicago, or in the Chicago area?
No.
Okay, so this is the second state. I was going to say, we're breaking some records here, but this is your first out-of-state show that we've done for the Writers' Room. But anyway, since Ben is not near his record collection, we're going to go back and talk about what we've been listening to that is not, Milwaukee music. Even though I do have to also quickly throw in there, I listened to the new Lakia album today, and Ben and I talked about that too. We were texting about it, and excited for what she's doing too, because she's on Quality Control, which is one of the hottest rap labels out right now. And I told Ben I think she's their Midwestern experiment, because they're with 42 Doug, who's a Detroit rapper, and there's a couple other names that kind of float around. I think she's got the right people around her. I think she's going to be something, they're going to be the Midwest, if she goes big, QC is going to really jump into the Midwest as far as the hip-hop scene is concerned.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, massive potential.
Yes, but, Ben, you had a trip to Michigan. What did you listen to on your trip? What have you been listening to?
Yeah, I kind of missed this question, actually. Because I've been listening to a lot of stuff. A lot of great stuff. So much stuff that I have to break it down. Last week I was on kind of in the weird new pop music that's been coming out from the indie sphere. So I was listening to some really eccentric pop artists that I hadn't really gotten into before last week. So one of the biggest ones, who is unlike anything I ever heard, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about him, but I really think what he's doing is incredible, is Clarence Clarity.
Okay.
He is taking modern pop music and entirely flipping and not chopping and screwing it, but just flipping it on his head and just glitching it out and putting such a really like almost like scatterbrained take on pop, and it's cool. It's like I said, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet. I think I have to keep listening to him to really for it to really click with me still. But
Sure.
What got into him? I was listening to Rina Sawayama, who just recently dropped a new album this year, which is really good. I listened to some Dory and Electra. They're also a really cutting edge pop artist. And then in the car ride, my dad kind of took the aux. Because my dad's very particular. He's an old head when it comes to music.
So more of
So
like
it's-
the vinyl that's behind me, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. It's all classic rock. And he listens to Pandora. So like, it was just a mixed bag of like old prog and like classic rock. So
Okay.
a lot of King Crimson, Led Zeppelin, Yes. We had some Who on.
There you go. Can never
That's
go
all
wrong
the
with the
stuff
Who.
that- yeah, that's all the stuff my dad is really into.
Okay.
But the last couple days, I've actually been listening to some indie hip hop.
Sure.
So I've been getting into Open Mike Eagle and Armand Hammer,
Yep.
Billy Woods, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I like that. Definitely, I need to listen to more Open Mike Eagle. It's weird. I'm kind of like, I'm a big comedy fan, and Hannibal Buress listens to Open Mike Eagle a lot, or like talks about him a lot. Same as like that kind of got me into Thundercat because of his appearance on Hannibal Buress's ill-fated TV show and things like that. So I'm gonna have to check him out for sure. On my side of things, I've been listening to again more of the new releases that have been coming out, but two really stand out for me. I listened to the new Jack Harlow project, and I really wanted to not like it. Like a little part of me was like I don't know. I mean, he got big off of a song that landed on TikTok and went viral, and then the Tyler Hero song came out, and I was like, cool. Like I like his flow. I really do like the songs that he's put out, but I didn't know if it was gonna carry over to a project. I really fucking like that album. Like the new Jack Harlow project is pretty solid. It flows like a mixtape, like the first half of it at least. Like whoever sequenced it in a way that every track flows into another, and like what a way to catch that energy as a young artist, to be like, I'm coming out and I'm dropping 5 great records back to back to back, and they're all going to sound different and the flows are going to be different, but excited for what he's doing, and he gets to tell his story of being a young rapper that, you know, put in the work to get there. So hard work definitely paid off for him on that. The other one that has stood out to me, and it's my wife has been listening to it a lot, and so the new Taylor Swift. Yeah, the Taylor Swift album. I don't even know what it's called. I know it's the companion album to the other one.
Isn't it like Evermore?
I think something along those lines, yeah. I just know it's the follow-up to the one that she put out earlier this year. Ben, I think I'm a Swiftie. Is that what they call their fans? I think I'm a Taylor Swift fan.
I am in business with you, my friend. So we're allowed to have differences.
Yes.
Little differences. But that's cool, man. That is cool. I'll let you have that one.
I will say,
the new Kid?
I did not hear the new Kid Cudi yet, and that I know is like sacrilege. I am not necessarily the biggest Kid Cudi fan, and I think part of that was because like Man on the Moon was huge. I've seen him live. Actually saw him at Pantherfest years back. I like what he does, but I think he was so inconsistent with like everything after Man on the Moon for me. Just for me, purely me. I know there's people that listen to hip hop that are screaming at the screen right now, but for me, it just kind of felt like things fell so were so distant, and like he was just doing his own thing, that I just kind of lost interest with it. Same as like Lupe Fiasco for a long time was just rapping my head off so much that I lost interest in it. So I have not yet jumped to the new Kid Cudi. I need to do that at some point when I can sit down and fully like digest what he's doing with it too. So, but if I'm in the mood of like just walking around doing stuff or walking the dog or whatever, Jack Harlow's been on repeat, and then secretly Taylor Swift has been also in the rotation a little bit.
Not so secretly right now, though.
No, not so secretly right here on the internet for everybody to see. Yeah.
We don't. We take no shame. There's no guilty obsessions on breaking and entering.
Yeah. So that's what we've been listening to. If you were looking for homework for the rest of the year, go find some great music, and we have plenty of it on Breaking and Entering. That includes this last video that we're going to play for this week, which is a friend of the show and a friend of Breaking and Entering for sure, Mark Soriano with Ben Better. I recently interviewed him, and I recently did a little feature piece on him and the whole Meltwater Pulse Collective. Love what he is doing, and I really like what they're doing in the sense that everybody is everybody else's backing band. So, like, Mark is in probably, like, 8 bands or something like that himself. But he also does solo work, too. So, when he needs, somebody to play keys on something, he's got somebody to do it. Or if he needs somebody to play, like, brass, he's got it. So, I think that that's a really unique approach to creating music. And I'm glad that that's happening for sure. So.
Yeah, definitely.
And I want to hear more music from him. I want to hear more music from Murphy K. I really liked Akko, so I want to see all of that stuff happen too. But in the meantime, this is the latest single from Mark Soriano. This is Ben Better on the Writers' Room.
I've been better than I ever was here before. I took the time to figure out what I can and can't afford. We've been sitting here asking each other for more. To me, less worth it when I'm not all that you adore. It's not the same when I say I've gotta run. These days are something and all I ever want. But to see you in such a terrible state, I never wanna be the one holding you down in place. I've been better than I ever was here before. Slowly breaking down the walls that build my fort. Holding off all the things running through my head. A year ago I was saying I was better off dead. It's not the same when I say I've gotta run. These days are something, they're all I ever want. But to see you in such a terrible state, I never wanna be the one holding you down in place. Truth be told, I'm sorry I can't go. Truth be told, I know you deserve more. See the shakes crashing out of your hand. I hate to see you barely being able to stand. See you better than you were before. Waking up isn't just a daze, it's something more. I've been crying, asking you to try something more. To me, life's worth it when I'm not all that you adore.
All right, that was Mark Soriano with Ben Better on the Writers' Room. And that is the last video that we are sharing on the Writers Room for this year. Just a little quick programming note. We're going to be off next week. Just, take a little time to decompress, finish out the year strong, and we will be back after that. So we're really excited, and I can say this too. I haven't told Ben this yet. I was just checking it. We are well on pace that if it doesn't happen tonight, it'll happen early tomorrow morning. That this is the best traffic year that we have had for breakingandentering.net to date, which I didn't think we were going to do, honestly. We lost pretty much a whole month of just different things this summer. So I didn't think it was going to happen, especially with the pandemic. But all of a sudden, we had a surge in the last quarter or so. And if it doesn't happen tonight, it will happen early tomorrow morning. That this is the 5th consecutive best year in a row for breaking and entering for traffic. It's also the most content that we have put out in a single year, and Ben is very much to thank for that. So thank you, Ben, for creating content that people are enjoying, and thank you to everybody who watches this and whoever consumes our content, however you get it, because we really are all over the internet. I know I say it at the end of every show, but we're doing good things here at Breaking and Entering, and I'm very thankful and very stoked to say that. It's another big traffic year for us.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That is super dope. Well, go us.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I want to say thank you to you, Alan, for just giving me so much leverage with the platform and kind of taking the reins in a way that I wouldn't have been able to do if we didn't establish so much trust with one another over the years, and also just for giving me creative control to put out whatever it is I find, and giving and naming me music director. I can't stress how much I appreciated that, and just how much we've grown together, not only with content wise, but also just what I think that how we grew in the roles that we have, and just and our perspectives with what Milwaukee music can be. I think that we grew in massive strides that way, which we couldn't have done without just our constant communication, our constant presentation of ideas with one another. And it's cool because you and I kind of our ideas kind of fall in tandem with one another.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot about you and about the site. So thank you for just paving the way to help me build the site into something that helped us get this far.
Absolutely. And Ben, you hit it out of the park on that. It doesn't happen unless we've got vision for what we want Milwaukee music to be, and it definitely doesn't happen without people reading it and sharing it, and all the artists putting effort into wanting to be on the site and things like that. There's a lot of factors that really come into this. I did this a few years ago on Facebook where I posted thank you to these people, but it was a village of people that really impact the site in small ways. You know what I mean? This came out of nothing. I don't want to get too sappy and congratulatory, but go us. But it started honestly because this was some shit that I made in my parents' bedroom in my bedroom at my parents' house while I was in college. The site got created that way. We started writing about artists that way. Ben came along, a couple of years down the line from that. It's really just something that we made from nothing. Anybody could have did this, and I like that we have, definitely the two of us at the front of it, but all the people that are involved, adding on to that to create a real community around Milwaukee music. And I think that Ben is definitely one of the hardest, if not the hardest working, music writer here in the city. And I think everybody that we have involved with what we do makes it real and makes it authentic, because you could get the same thing from a lot of other places, but I think nobody does it the way that we do, and that doesn't happen if we don't not have any kind of gimmicks or any kind of thing. I don't know. Like, our thing is we are the most authentic presentation of Milwaukee music, and we are a hub for it, and I think we're accomplishing that, and I'm only looking forward to bigger things from there. So
Yes.
I tried not to get sappy and long-winded, and then I got long-winded.
Well, thank you to you, the viewer, for giving us things to do every week, every day, and hopefully in the next year, as the vaccine will become more widely distributed, we will start seeing some lighter reintroduction of shows, and it'll be great to see everyone out there. All the relationships we've cultivated, the ones we've enhanced, all of those will be continued even tenfold when shows are written again one day. So, yeah. Man, it's awesome to look back at, but also like we were saying earlier, like, all of that stuff has inspired me to work even harder this coming year. So.
Well, Ben, I don't need you to work much harder than that, because I'm a little worried that you're going to work too hard. So don't do that. But take the time, enjoy the weeks, the little bit of time off with the holidays and stuff like that, to go a little bit lighter, obviously. But again, thank you to everybody for watching. That's this week's episode of the Writers' Room. You can check us out every single day, as many of you have been doing, over at breakingandentering.net. We can't thank you enough for doing that. We literally are all over the internet. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. We got a weekly e-newsletter. We got a podcast that you can listen to everywhere. Ben has the Mr. Nice Guy podcast. We got a radio show. And a lot of that wasn't around at the end of 2019 going into 2020. So, yeah, we're just going to keep making great things. We appreciate the hell out of everybody that consumes anything that we do. And we will see you guys in 2021 on the Writers' Room.
Yes.